Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we have completed with the topic of residential status and the scope of total income. Now, let's continue with our next discussion, very important discussion, that is income from salary. Now, we are starting with the heads of income, and this heads of income, the first heads of income we are going to look into is income from salary, and this chapter income from salary alone covers somewhere around 8 to 10. 8 to 10. They can ask independent question. Chances of asking income from salary questions are high because at final level income from salary and house property both heads are being removed in the new syllabus for CA inter for CA level. And for CM also same thing pertains. Income from salary and house property will be focused very less in your final level. So chances of asking questions from that in inter level is high. So it's just the analysis that we can make at what point we are going to do. Clear, everyone? Done? Great. So now let's start with the head of income, that is salaries. When are you going to tax your income under the head salary, people? When there is employment is being concerned, right? Everyone, when there is employment, when there is employee-employee relationship, only then the concept of salary comes. If I'm taking some business on a contract basis, that is contract, that is consultancy or technical income, that's not salaried income. Salaried income will be taxable under the head income from salary only and only if employer and employee relationship exists. If employee and employer relationship doesn't exist, then you can't tax it under this head, you have to tax it under some other head. We will see that later. Clear? Everyone? So now, if I'm speaking about the taxability, first of all, you should have employee and employee relationship. Next, you should have full-time or part-time. You can have full-time or either part-time employment. What do I mean? Suppose you are part-time employed in one organization, part-time employed in the evening on the another organization. Both place you are an employee only. Wherever the concept of employee comes, that will be taxable. Employee-employee relationship would be what? Taxable over there. Clear, everyone? Done? Now, what if you surrender your salary? Now you are stating, I'm a very good person for life. I have so much money. I don't want money. I will work in the organization as employee, but I don't want salary. You're telling that, rich people. So now what you will do? What the employer will do? Employer will surrender the salary. Surrender means he will not give the salary, or he will transfer that salary to some organization, some charitable organization or something. Even though you do such work, you have to pay the tax no matter what. Payable of taxable, that is taxability, is important. You receive the amount, not receive the amount, that's a different situation. See people, what will happen if surrender of salary was subject to not paying of the taxes? People would have taken massive advantage. What I would have done, I would have spoken with my organization and I would say, do one thing, you surrender my salary so that I will give you some account number. That is some my friend's account number or my parents' account number, someone's account number I will give. You transfer the amount to that account number stating that I have surrendered the salary for their development or for their welfare. I've done that. You are going to you're going to do that, right? Everyone. And now I've spoken with my employer. I've told, okay, you don't give my salaries, give my salary to the account number which I say that's not mine. And do one thing, you please transfer the money so that I'll not pay any tax. Employer also agreed because he was my friend or some understanding is there with my employer. This situation I would have played, I wouldn't even have paid tax, I would have got my money also. They have stated, we'll do one thing, we can't keep a track of your money going out somewhere. So do one thing, you pay the tax, you're receiving the money, not receiving the money, that's a different situation. But if the government is able to keep the track on the salary which is being surrendered, that is, if you surrender your salary to the central government or to the government, now the government can keep a track of where your money is going. If you once give money to the central government, its money is given, no. Everyone. So what is it going to be? One, one, one time you give the salary, surrender the salary to the government, that is gone, no? At that point of time, government has the track that you have given, actually surrendered the money. So they are like, if you surrender your money, your salary to the central government, to the government basically, then your salary would be exempted from tax. Logical. Everyone. Next. Place of accrual of salary. See, if you earn salary in India, we are going to make it as taxable as though it is accrued or arised in India. Even though the payment might happen outside India. Yesterday we had seen the point 9 subsection 1 clause 3. People, you guys remember? What was that? 9 subsection 1 clause 3. What was that? What was that here? 9 subsection 1 clause 3. Embassy. Salary paid by the central government or by the government to an Indian citizen for rendering the service outside India. 9 subsection 1 clause 3. Every, that is salary paid by the government only for rendering the service outside India. So those exemptions we have over here. 10 subsection 6 clause 2 speaks about remuneration received by officials of embassy of foreign states. Now, our Indian citizens are receiving salary in their state, in their particular country. In India, similarly, you have foreign embassy in India. For the foreign embassy, they would be receiving salary in India by their government. They have paid it. By the foreign government, foreign state has paid it. But it is being received for rendering service in India. Now, normally speaking, that would be considered as accrued or arised in India and it would have been made taxable. But there are certain exemptions given where they have stated if you satisfy certain condition, even though it is accrued or arised in India, still will make it as exempted. That is, you need not pay the tax anymore. What are those conditions is that? See, try to understand. Our officials, that is our embassy officials, will be receiving similar salary in their foreign country. Example, US. US embassy is working, embassy people are working in India and our Indians are working in US embassy. If our similar remuneration, that is embassy people of Indian embassy basically in US rendering the service over there, if our officials over there are made to make the taxes remuneration exempted, everyone, the people who are there, Indian people who are working in Indian embassy in US, if their salary, their remuneration is exempted in that foreign country, then we will make your officials money remuneration to be exempted in our country. It is purely give and take policy. You make it exempted over there, we will make it exempted here. You make it taxable for them, we will make it taxable here. You will give help for them, we will also give you help for here. People. Simple, give and take policy. You make sure our remuneration, because see, however, 9 subsection 1 clause 3 states that remuneration which is earned over there is taxable in India, deemed to be accrued or arised in India. So they are like very simple. Your officials, you take the taxes. We will not collect. Similarly, our officials should not be taxed in your country. Our officials should be exempted and we will collect the tax from our officials. Simple. Understanding people, because you are paying salary, that is government is paying, you are paying the salary to your officials, we are paying salary to our officials, where we are paying we will collect the tax, where you are paying you collect the tax. Simple. Everyone, this is one condition. And the staff member should be citizen of that foreign country. First of all, people who are working in that embassy, respective country's embassy, they will be of that particular country only. Indian embassy, they will not appoint some US people over there. They will appoint Indians only. So now, starting from that is the security person till the people who are inside, everyone are Indians over there in Indian embassy. So that foreign staff member must be citizens of the respective country and not engaged in any other business or employment in India. That fellow, he has come as an official, is taking remuneration, he should just stick to that. You should not be engaged in any other business or any other employment. First of all, he's an official over there. he should not be involved in any business in India, or he should not be involved in anything else. He should not be involved in employment in India, any other employment. If he's working as official, just to work as official. Don't do anything extra over here. Understanding? Everyone? Very clear here? The remuneration received for services rendered in India as an employee of a foreign state. What is it? Remuneration received for services rendered in India as an employee of foreign enterprise. See now, if you satisfy both the condition, remuneration of the officials who are working in our country of the foreign state will be exempted. We are not speaking about our officials over there. We are speaking about the foreign officials over here. Understanding? Next, salary. This becomes important. They might ask you. This becomes important. Next, remuneration received for salary services rendered in India as an employee of a foreign enterprise. Now, what happens? You need to satisfy certain condition because you have received some remuneration. You have come into India. 9 subsection 1 clause 2, you guys remember? Salary earned for providing, rendering services in India. That is salary. I told you that is when it comes to salary, we will discuss about the exemptions and other points when we come to income from salary chapter. This is the point. That is remuneration, salary received for rendering the services in India, but as an employee of foreign enterprise. What does it mean? The foreign enterprise does not conduct business or trade in India. See, first of all, that fellow who's earning salary for rendering service in India, but he is an employee of a foreign enterprise, he will be exempted from paying tax in India provided he satisfies these 3 conditions. These are and clause, people, not all clause. All the conditions need to be satisfied. These are and clause. Everyone, what does it mean? You see, this foreign enterprise, that is foreign company, is not conducting any business or trade in India. That doesn't have any business connection in India, basically. And the employee stays in India does not exceed 90 days in the PY. The fellow coming and staying in India for rendering some services in India, for providing some services in India, it is not exceeding how many days? Not exceeding 90 days in the PY. Everyone, it's not exceeding. He has come to India for the purpose of this one only, but it does not exceed 90 days. That is, it is up to 90 days. The remuneration is not deductible from the employee's taxable income. See now, government is very intelligent in providing this point of exemption. With this point, with this clause putting in over here. It's very simple. See, remuneration is not deductible from the employer's taxable income in India means, try to understand something. Suppose, normally speaking, not this clause, not this exemption, normally speaking, you have sales of 10. You have salary paid of 6. How much is your profit? 4. Correct? Everyone? Now think, out of this 10, 6 you have subtracted, 4 is your profit and you are going to pay the tax for this 4. Correct? The salary of 6 which you paid is income for someone else. You have paid salary, that's your expenses, but it is salary that is income for someone else. Let's consider no other deduction, so this employee will end up paying tax for the 6. This is what normally happens. The entire 10 is paid a tax for. Understanding, people? Clear? Everyone? Are they understood? So what is it going to be? 6. The employee will pay the tax for the 6. The employer will pay the tax for this 4 profit. Employee will pay tax for the 6 salary. Now what are they stating? Remuneration, basically can I say remuneration is deductible from the employer's total income. Employee's total income was 10. Remuneration is 6. It is made deductible and allowed as deduction. Correct? What point they are stating over here is that remuneration is not deductible from the employee's taxable income. It means they are stating don't do this minus 6 over here. If you don't do minus 6, how much will be your profit? Can I say the employer himself will pay the tax for that remuneration provided also? Understanding? Hence, if you have done this, if the employer has done this, then the employee need not pay any tax on the salary. If employer has not done this, so he has taken -6 over here, you have to pay tax on 6. Ultimately, government is getting the 10 tax for. You are not paying, the employer himself is paying indirectly. Understanding everyone? Clear? Done. This point becomes important with this clause here. That is, it does not exceed 90 days in the previous year. It does not exceed how many days? 90 days. It does not exceed 90 days in the PY. Clear everyone? It does not exceed 90 days in the PY. Next, section 10, subsection 6, clause A, salary received by a non-citizen, non-resident for service rendered in connection with the employment of the foreign ship is exempted, whereas total income in India does not exceed 90 days during the PY. People, what does it mean? Salary received by a non-citizen, non-resident means basically is a non-resident and he has come to India in rendering some connection with a foreign ship. For foreign ship he has come and is providing some services and he is going back. His remuneration would be exempted provided he does not stay for a period exceeding 90 days during the PY. It's just one time provision, people, not so important. Just give it a one time read. That's it. This also one time read. 10.6 clause 11 speaks about remuneration received by the foreign government employees during their stay in India for specified period, specified training. Here I'm speaking about specified training. Specified training should be given by Indian government, that is central government, state government. Basically, government authorities, government entities should give you specified training. Then the remuneration received by the foreign government employees from their government is going to be exempted in India, provided the training has been taken from the government only. Clear everyone? Provided the government is only taking the government is only providing the services. Everyone? Clear people? Done. So look into the pro forma. This is just the pro forma. This is just the list what will come and what will, how it will come. First of all, you will have basic salary, remuneration, etc., allowances, perquisite, everything you will have. Then later on you have gross salary. The total of that will be to gross salary. Then you will have deduction under section 16. Deduction under section 16, standard deduction, professional tax, entertainment allowance. Then what you will get is the net salary. Everyone, this is the format being concerned. The every point which you see over here, it is being detailedly explained and it is being detailedly classified. Everyone, it has been detailedly explained and it has been detailedly classified. Everyone. Okay. Now, so with regarding to this point, we'll consider each point separately. First of all, try to understand the basis of charge. Section 15 speaks about basis of charge, stating that when will that salary be actually be taxable? Salary is taxable, yes. If you are in employment-employee relationship, yes. What is my PY which is applicable for my exam, people? PY applicable for my exam? AY? 24, 25. Everyone? Basically, the salary is charged on due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. The salary is charged on due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. Try to understand what does this point state. If it is recorded in due basis or if it is recorded in due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier means, try to understand. Okay. Let's consider Jan 2024 For that matter, tell me people, for the salary for the work which you have done in Jan month, when are you going to get your salary? On 1st or 2nd of Feb? Correct. Let's consider 1st of Feb 2024. Suppose for the salary for the work which you have done in the month of Feb, when are you going to get salary over here? 1st of March 2024. For the month of March, when are you going to get? 1st of April 2024. Everyone, Jan months you are going to get in first Feb month you are going to get in March months you are going to get in April month. Everyone. So now this Jan month, whatever you are getting, tell me, when is the accrual of Jan month salary happening? Accrual means getting accumulated, not yet paid. Payable is being created in which month? Payable is created in Jan 2024 only. But paid is in Feb 2024, correct? But can I say these two are in the PY 23-24 only? Do you have any problem here? No. Because both are in the same PY. Month might be different, but same PY, no? You don't have any problem. Feb month. When is the payable being created? Feb. When it is being made? March, which is the PY 23-24 only. But when it comes to year, that is March month, the payable is being created in which month? March 2024. Paid is being created in which year? Paid created in which month? April 2024. Or it is as per the company norms. Here no difference at all. Company is doing their work as usual. But the problem is that you are going to have something called as 31st March 2024 coming up. So this gets clearly differentiated with PY 23-24 and this gets classified with PY 24-25. 1 day difference only, but still it is going to be PY 24-25 only. Now this is your 23-24 PY and this is your 24-25 PY. Two different PY means two different AY. AY 24-25, AY 25-26. It has been classified like that. If I am creating this point, now comes the question, a salary should be taxed in the year of receivable, in the year of payable over here. See, payable paid I am creating for employer perspective. Employer, if it is asset for someone, it is going to be liability for someone else. If it is going to be receivable for someone, it is going to be payable for someone else. Similarly, if it is payable for the employer, it is going to be receivable for you people, employee, everyone. Me being an employee, wherever I am recording payable, it is going to be receivable for you. Wherever I am recording paid over here, it is received for you. Opposite is correct. This need to be understood in that term. So payable and paid, I am speaking in employer perspective. That's it. Everyone. So now, if the employer is having payable in March 2024, receivable for you, now comes the question whether should I tax it in the year 23-24 or 24-25, because receivable is happening in 23-24, pay that is received is happening in 24-25. What clarification they have given, they have stated in the section 15 is that it has to be paid on due basis, it shall be taxed. Salary is taxed on due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. It is due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. What do I mean? See, when is the due happening? March 2024. When is the receipt happening? April 2024. Whichever is earlier. Which one is earlier? March 2024 is earlier. Everyone, March 2024 is earlier. So what does it mean? Due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier, it is taxable on due basis. Earlier one is March. So March month's salary, even though it is received in the month of April, it shall be taxed in the year. It is taxed in the 23-24. Clear? Everyone. When both are in the same PY, you have no problem. Yet when both are in different PY, only the problem comes. Understood? Due basis and receipt basis, what is the difference? What about advance salary receipt? That is April month's salary. You are going and telling your employer, you have some amount to be paid. That is, you need some financial amount. So next month's salary, whatever is the April month's salary, you please pay it in the month of March only. So tell me, when is the April month's salary becomes due? In the month of April. When it is been received? In the month of March. So it is now taxable on due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier. Receipt basis March 2024, PY 23-24, it becomes taxable. This is what advance salary. The next concept comes, that is advance against salary. What is it? Advance against salary. What do I mean by advance against salary is that now I'm not going and asking my employer, please give my salary of next month now only. I'm telling him, please give me some amount as advanced against salary. It means keep my salary as a guarantee and give me some loan amount. My salary is 2 lakh rupees per annum. I'm asking him, give me some 1 lakh rupee as loan against salary. Now, is he going to deduct it against from my salary? No, I'm going to repay him back. I'm going to repay the entire 1 lakh along with the interest to him, but keep that salary as a guarantee. So now tell me, will the loan be considered as remuneration to the employee? Loan is not a remuneration, people. Loan is loan only. Loan means I'm going to give you back. You're going to charge your interest. So it is not going to be taxable. Understanding? Advanced against salary means it's not your remuneration, people. It is going to be loan only. It is going to be money transaction. Income tax is the point. If you have income only, then it is taxable. If it is not your income, why it will be taxable here? Understanding everyone? Making sense? Everyone? No. So, with this point in picture, can I say advance salary is taxable on due basis or receipt basis, whichever is earlier? Difference between advance salary and advanced against salary. See, loan is different from salary. I told you, loan amount cannot be brought to tax as a salary of the employee. The primary objective of salary being taxed is that that's your income. Loan amount is not your income. No, it's just a support that fellow is giving you. You are going to give that money back to him. Understanding? Clear, people? Done? Okay. Arrears of salary. Try to understand arrears of salary. Okay. Now, what that employer is stating is that he is telling his employee that from April month, I'm going to give you hike of your salary, which is applicable from the month of March. March hike should be given from the month of March, but the decision of the hike is taken in the month of April. So you are going to get that hike amount of the March month also in the month of April. I'll repeat. Which month you are going to get the hike in my example? From April month, money comes. Hike money comes. All of you know what is meant by hike. Hike is nothing but increment. Suppose you are getting your salary of 1 lakh. The hike which those people have provided is 10%. So how much you are going to get as new salary? 1,10,000. In the month of March, how much you have received? 1 lakh. In the month of April, you are receiving 1,10,000 rupees considered as hike, and it is applicable from March 2024. So you have 10,000. Your actual money that you should have received in the month of March is 1,10,000. But how much you have received? 1 lakh only. So now what I am going to do is that April 1,10,000 plus 10 lakh I am going to record. In the month of April, bank only I am going to get 1,10,000 plus I am going to get 10,000 rupees also. No? March month only I should have received 1,10,000. But they are taking that decision of the hike in the month of April only. So March month salary they can't hold just because they have to give the hike. They have to give the salary as usual. In the month of April, they are giving me the hike amount that is adjusted with the hike amount, and March month whatever they were supposed to give as hike, they are giving it in the month of April. So receipt of hike That hike money which was supposed to be given but given in the next month is called as arrears. Just an example. The salary which you were supposed to receive in the previous months but you are receiving it in later month. That is called as arrears of salary. Arrear concept means that only wherever the arrears comes. Last period, last months, last years, whatever amount which you were supposed to receive, now you are receiving. That concept is arrears. Clear? So last month 10,000 you are receiving in this month. So now this 1 lakh rupees, suppose you have received it in 31st March 2024 only. So due is also in the month of March. Receipt is also in the month of March. 1 lakh rupee taxable in the year of 23-24 only. What about this 10,000 which is arrears of salary? It is always and always going to be taxed on due basis only, because it is going to be accrued during the previous period. Arrears concept means accrual money you are giving. That is what arrears means. So it is going to be considered a due basis. Every arrears salary must be charged on what? Due basis. Everyone, very understood people, should be charged on what basis? Due basis. Always. Arrears of salary, always on due basis. Now, salary, perquisite and profits in lieu of salary. That is 7 subsection 1 salary, 7 subsection 2 perquisite, 7 subsection 3 profits in lieu of salary. When it comes to the salary point, people, first of all, salary has a various components. Basic salary, your DNS allowance, your bonus, commission, etc. When it comes to salary, you have something called as basic salary, and that basic salary can be interchangeably used as salary, wages, for that matter. Interchangeably used as wages, basic salary, etc. That is going to be fully taxable. Fully taxable means you have received 1 lakh as basic salary. Entire 1 lakh will be coming in the outer column of the calculation. This means outer column of the calculation, if it is coming, it is going to be fully taxable. Everyone, it is going to be what? Fully taxable. Clear? Everyone, done? Great. Now, allowances. Allowances means it is an benefit which is given either to cover expenses or for personal work or related something. Allowances means very simple here. Fixed monetary amount which you are getting every month would be considered as allowances. Everyone. Fixed monetary amount. Fixed amount basically you are getting every month would be considered as allowances. Allowances are of many types. First of all, DNS allowance. Remember, DNS allowance, it's a various component name given and the money is given in a fixed amount. That is what allowance. DNS allowance is there, it is going to be fully taxable. It's just a component. Everyone. Overtime allowance, fully taxable. That is, you are working overtime, you are getting overtime allowance. Fixed medical allowance, fully taxable. Remember, this point is going to be absolutely important. What is it? Fixed medical allowance. Next, interim allowance, fully taxable. Project allowance, fully taxable. Warden allowance, fully taxable. Non-practicing allowance, fully taxable. Tiffin and dinner allowance, fully taxable. Remember, this point also important. Because, see here, you have fixed medical allowance. Fixed medical allowance is fully taxable, and you have medical perquisites or medical expenses perquisites in the next upcoming point. That is going to be fully exempted. If you are receiving the medical allowance in the fixed sum, then it is going to be what? Fully taxable. If you are receiving not in a fixed sum, you are receiving it as a perquisite. Perquisite means non-monetary benefit. Allowances are monetary benefit. Perquisites are basically non-monetary. It is not in cash, but is in some help from some form of support. We'll see that later. So now, Tiffin and dinner allowance is going to be fully taxable. Why is it important? Is that there is a clause provision which states up to 50 rupees is exempted in the perquisite moving forward. But as of now, we will see that point later. Once this entire chapter of income from salary is done, when I ask a question with regarding to the lunch dinner allowances, you have to say it is going to be fully taxable. 200% you will make mistake over there stating that up to 50 rupees it's exempted. That 50 rupees exempted for perquisite lunch facility, not lunch allowance. Remember, allowances means fixed amount, not your variation amount. Fixed amount it is. Done? Now, city compensatory allowance. What is meant by city compensatory allowance? See, you moving to a separate city, different city. Cost of living is going to be different. You staying in some outskirts and getting posted to Bangalore in the other times, the cost of living is totally different. Understand? So when compared to the cost of living, it is going to be fully taxable. Then, what about entertainment allowance? Entertainment allowance is going to be fully taxable. Remember, entertainment allowance for government employees is going to be fully exempted. We'll see that later. But entertainment allowance, generally speaking, it's going to be fully taxable. Transport allowance is going to be fully taxable in case of general category. But in case of blind, deaf, dumb, some handicapped people, it is going to be exempted up to how much? 3,200 per month. It is going to be exempted up to how much? 3,200 per month. Exempted. See, if I am speaking about exempted over here, try to understand what this exemption means. Suppose, see, if your transport allowance, which is given to you, is 5,000 rupees per month, okay, 5,000 into 12, how much is it going to be? 60,000. Per month, whatever you have received is 60,000. Minus the exemption which you are getting is 3,200 per month multiplied by 12 months. Exemption is up to 3,200. So you can take up to a maximum amount of 3,200 over here. How much is this going to be? 3,200 into 12? 38,400 will be the maximum exemption which will be given. The remaining amount will be your taxable transport allowance. Understanding? Exemption always means your taxable amount is reduced. From 60,000 it is reduced to so much. Your taxable amount would be reduced. That is what your exemption means. Outer column only, this amount is going to come in the outer column, not this amount. This amount will not come. The taxable amount will come in the outer column. Understood? Everyone? Suppose, what if you have received only 3,000? You have received only 3,000. What is it? That is transport allowance amount received is 3,000 multiplied by 12. 36,000. The exemption can be taken up to 3,200. Means 3,200 is not minimum amount, that's a maximum amount. If it is maximum, I can take maximum of 3,200. Means exemption, that money received is less than that. I'm going to take whatever is going to be within less than 3,000. I have received only 3,000 rupees. How can I take exemption of 3,200? Won't it give me some negative figure in my taxable HRA? Can there be any negative figure in your taxable amount? There can never be a negative amount. It can be either zero or it can be positive. Your taxable amount can never be negative. Everyone, there can be no negative tax here. Understanding? Setting of the taxes will happen only in case of advance tax and TDS, TCS. Money we have paid earlier. Concept is different. There can never be minus amount within that exempted, within that total income column for the allowances which you have received. If you record 3,200 into 12, how much is it going to be? 36,000, 38,400. It would lead to some 2,400 negative figure, no? Can you go and charge in the outer column 2,400 into whatever, some 10% suppose considering 240 rupees negative tax, can you record? Not possible, yeah, not at all. Your salary, first of all, think logically into it. In your business, can you have loss? Yes. Can you have profit? Yes. When you're selling the property, shares suppose, you bought the shares as 1000, market fell down, you are selling the shares at 800. Can you have loss over there? Yes. Income from other sources, only in one point you can have loss. Income from house property, you have concept. So as of now understand, you can get loss from house property also. Can you have loss from income from salary? No. Or you are trading your time for that employer, for that fellow, and you are giving your salary also for him. No? Can that be possible? Not possible. Income from salary can never be negative. Income from salary can always be positive only. It means there is no loss that you can consider in income from salary concept. Logical. Right, can you have loss in income from salary? Not possible. Not at all possible. So what is going to be is that we can get either nil over here or positive amount. Nil or positive amount. You can never have negative amount. Clear? Everyone understood the point of exemption here? So, see, helper allowance, research allowance, and uniform allowance. First of all, helper allowance is given if you are working over there in the organization. You have seen the latest uh, many news which they are speaking about the overtime working of the employees, and those people employers who are sitting in that AC room, they are stating that go and work for 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day. And it is not that they have not worked, they have worked. That is why they are in that position now. They worked for their company, no? That is why they are in crores together now. You being an employee, you're getting some 70, 80,000, 90,000 salary. They are expecting you to trade 14 hours in a day. Out of 24 hours, 14 hours gone. How many hours you have left? 10 hours. Minimum 6 hours you should sleep. Minimum 6 hours. So 20 hours gone. Remaining 4 hours. From here to Kormangla, here to Maratalli, here to some other place. It will take minimum 1 hour. In a bike you're going in a super speed also it will take 1 hour. Minimum. 1 hour going, 1 hour coming. 2 hours you have. Where will you eat? Where will you speak with your family? What you will do here? You can't do anything. If they're stating, okay, work for 14 hours, they should also give the help for with regarding to the help allowances also. They should provide the employees some cab, good cab. They should provide their employees the homemade, so that they will help in working on the other things. They should do something. They will not do all that. It's working for 14 hours. So, in case of helper allowance, what will happen? The employer is giving you an allowance for the domestic servants or domestic maid to work in their home. To help them, they will give you some helper allowance. Next, research allowance. You want to do some course or you want to do some qualifications, etc., and the employer can give you research allowance in order to make the further education studies or something. Uniform allowance in order to get your dress stitched, etc. It's just a name here. You can utilize the money for anything. It's just the name. And these three amount, whatever you're considering, uniform allowance, research allowance, and this helper allowance, remember, exemption is there under section 10 subsection 14 clause 1 to the extent you actually spend. Suppose uniform allowances given is 30,000 rupees in a year. You've actually spent for the purpose of uniform basically. Let's consider 24,000. Actually money spent would be exempted. So how much would you make it as taxable? 6,000 you would have make it as taxable. Everyone, 6,000 you would make it as taxable. Helper allowance. Let's consider you have received some 80,000 rupees as helper allowance and you have paid some 90,000 rupees to that lady. So how much it will be exempted? 80,000 only. You can't take the exemption in negative. It can only be 0 or positive. Suppose you have paid 60,000 to your maid. You can get 20,000. You can get how much? 20,000. Clear? Are you understanding people? Comfortable? Everyone? Now, allowances which are payable outside India. You've seen the point. Yesterday we have seen a point wherein allowances which are payable, allowances and the perquisites which you are paying for the government official, basically embassy people, it is going to be what? Exempted. Basically exempted from tax. Allowances are perquisite, not salary. Salary will be taxable. Allowances and perquisites which is paid by Indian government to an Indian citizen for rendering service outside India, embassy people. Embassy people receiving salary would be taxable. Embassy people receiving allowances and perquisite would be exempted from tax. Clear, people? Everyone? Next, 1014 clause 2. 1014 clause 1 we have covered. 1014 clause 1. What are those 3 points? Helper allowance, research allowance, uniform allowance. Clear? Everyone? When I am asking something to repeat, please participate. It will help you in long run. Whatever you have participated, whatever you have told, you will remember it for a longer period of time. Understanding? Participate from your end. Okay. 10, 14, clause 2. 10, 14, clause 2 speaks about certain exemptions, certain income and certain components in your salary, and to what extent exemption is available. To what extent exemption is available. Everyone, what is it? Special compensatory allowance is going to be rupees how much? 200 rupees per month. You have been staying in Bangalore happily, peacefully in life. They posted you into some jungle where tribal people are there, tribal area, scheduled agency, etc. Those they have placed. Now, what is the? They might remember people. Taxability is different, exemption is different, and the amount which you are receiving is different. Amount which you are receiving is your income that you are getting in your bank account. Exemption is the amount to which you are not paying any tax for. Exemption allowed is as per the income tax. Taxable income is whatever you have received in your bank account minus whatever exemption they have given as per income tax, that remaining amount becomes your taxable amount. There should be differentiation in everything. Everyone, you shouldn't be just studying without knowing what you are doing. You might have received 2000 rupees per month for the tribal areas. 2000 into 12, you might be receiving 24,000. Bank account, you're receiving how much? 24. How much is the exemption they're giving? They're giving you so much, 200 rupees per month. 200 rupees per month. This is all old provision. They're not updating all these things. So 200 rupees per month means 200 multiplied by 12. Read into 2400 is the exemption. So remaining 21,600 becomes taxable allowance. Taxable special compensatory allowance. Everyone, are you understood, people? Clear? Everyone? Next. Employees in transport system may receive an allowance for personal expense during the work related travel. You have seen those people who will drive the truck, who will drive the big vehicle. You have seen their characteristics. They'll always be thin. They'll spend half of their life in the truck only. Their truck is their life. You've seen them. They love their truck more than their wife. That point you have seen, no, you have seen those people, but their driving skills is amazing. So now these employees in the transport system which they are considered, those people will spend half of their life in the truck only. So for those employees who are traveling from one place to another place, you have to give 70% of such. For transport employees only, you will be having transport allowance. So whatever the transport allowance which is given for transport system employees, 70% of such amounts or 10,000 per month again, whichever is lower. Intelligent people, they have told 70% of such allowance, but still it is going to be how much? 10,000 per month, whichever is lower. Cunning people only. Everyone, they might have received some 30,000, 40,000, etc. some amount as your transport allowance only, but again they are kept 10,000 per month, whichever is low. Now, next. This is going to be absolutely important, that is children education allowance, children hostel expenditure. Children education allowance, children hostel expenditure. Children education allowance, first of all, you might have received 3,000 rupees. You might have received 3,000 rupees per month. How much is it going to be? 36,000. 36,000 will be your children education allowance minus children education allowance. Next, some exemption. How much is the exemption that you are getting? 100 rupees per month per child, maximum of 2 children. Suppose you have 3 children. How much is the exemption that you would get? 100 rupees per month per child. 2 children you have for maximum of 2 children. Everyone. So how much is it going to be? 2,000. You will get exemption of 2,400. Maximum you can get from children education allowance is going to be 2,400. All this should be improved here. All this exemption should be increased. This government, no, it's only interested in extracting taxes from the people. Higher class is also paying 30% only, and normal middle class people also paying 30% only. What is the difference? You just earning 10 lakh rupees or 12 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees, you are not a rich, no. Rich are those people who are earning crores together. Extract tax maximum from them. And people who are working in IT sectors on this normal sector, some 10, 15 lakh and all, they are paying, ending up paying taxes of almost like 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh. And at least is it you getting utilized for the purpose of India? No, it is getting into the pockets of many people. So ultimately, it's not getting utilized everywhere. Just to become rich, they are extracting tax from them. All this 100 rupees, 300 rupees, at least they need to be increased. Making sense? 100 rupees per month, 300 rupees per month should be increased. If it is 100 rupees, as of now, the provision is so much. 100 rupees per month per child, maximum of 2 children. They will give in the question. She has 1 child and that 1 child is adopted child. Will that make any difference? No, that is not making any difference. No such provision states that you have to take it for your own children or adopted children only. Nothing. Even in the question, they give it in the bracket adopted child. Don't get confused. Sorry, adopted child. What should I do? Nothing. 100 rupees per month per child is the exemption available. Clear? Done? Okay. Children hostel expenditure 300 rupees per month per child. Maximum of 2 children exemption is available. Transport allowance in case of blind, deaf, dumb, orthopedically handicapped employee up to 3,200 rupees per month. Clear everyone? Understood? Yeah. Now let's get into a very important discussion, that is HRA. 10 subsection 13A. HRA. Everyone. First of all, what is meant by this HRA? House rent allowance. When is this allowance given? You staying in a rented premises, you are actually paying rent. You don't have your own house in the place where you are working. Residential house, that is, you don't have your own home. If you have your own house, then HRA amount will be received. If the company's organization is stating, we will give you HRA. Will you say no? Obviously, you will say yes, please give me the amount, that amount also. It means HRA will be given to you. Bank only HRA you will get. Your salary component would be considered of HRA. But you will not get any exemption under income tax under HRA. That is my point. We are not studying about what money you should receive. We are studying about the money which you receive. What is the tax that you are going to do it for? Everyone, you are going to do that only. You are going to make sure that whatever 10 lakh rupees, whatever this 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh you're receiving as HRA, to what extent can I take the exemption is my point. Everyone, to what extent I can take my exemption? Everyone, are you understood here? People? No. Now, we understood what is HRA. When will that HRA be exempted? Now, let's try to understand how we will exempt it. Okay. See here, first of all, let's consider you have received HRA 5,000 rupees per month multiplied by 12, 60,000 rupees is the HRA received. How are you going to make it as taxable is that HRA actually received is 60,000. But you are going to make least of the following is exempted. Least of the following is exempted. That is lower of the following, any out of these 3 points, any one will be considered as exemption, which will be that one amount, whichever is lower among those 3. Clear? Your actual HRA received is 60,000. You recorded 16 both ways. Rent paid, let's consider you have paid some 8,000 rupees rent per month. Multiplied by 12, if you do, how much would you get? 12 into 8. 96,000. 96,000 or 10% of your salary. Remember people, the concept of salary under your HRA, under your gratuity, under your leave encashment, there's a separate definition for salary. It doesn't consider, you will include all the components. The definition of salary is clearly defined under each section. Section 10, subsection 13A, section number absolutely important. Section point is also important. Provision is also important. 10, subsection 13A speaks about your HRA. And wherein rent paid is how much? 8,000 multiplied by 12. 10% of the salary, yes, salary is defined. Salary defined madidara? Yes, salary is defined. What is the salary point? Basic salary plus DA if provided in terms of employment, turnover, commission, fixed percentage. See here, salary includes what? Basic salary. You would get the component in your, we will do the question for this. We have beautiful questions, we will do that. Salary considers basic salary plus DA. Remember, DA are of two types. DA is of 2 types, in terms, not in terms. In terms means in terms of employment, retirement benefits, forming part of retirement benefits. Not in terms means not forming part of retirement benefits. Everyone, forming part of retirement benefits, not forming part of retirement benefits. Forming part of retirement benefits means, see, whatever the DA which you are getting, suppose DA amount is 6,000 rupees per month. Okay, 6,000 multiplied by 12 you will do and you will record over there. Very well. The fine. Whatever the DA which you are receiving, you are going to receive your DA absolutely on full amount you are going to receive. No problem at all. A part of that amount for the calculation, it will become part of your retirement benefits. Suppose 6,000 rupees is your retirement. When you are receiving money in your bank account every month, you will receive that 6,000 rupees. But for the purpose of accumulating some money for the retirement benefit, after the retirement, you should get some money. No? For that purpose, what they will do is that 6,000 rupees they will consider 50% for the calculation purpose. 6,000 entirely received in that month only. For the calculation purpose, what they will do, 6,000 multiplied by 50%. What is it going to be? 3,000. That 3,000 rupees will be the amount which will be calculated in retirement benefit. Only for the purpose of calculation, I am telling you. That money will be contributed by employer only. Because you are working in an organization for so many time. No? So now that 50% amount, whatever you are considering over here, what is it going to be? DA in terms, DA not in terms, DA retirement forming part of retirement benefits, not in terms, not forming part of retirement benefit. Not forming part of retirement benefit means entire amount, no calculation, no retirement benefit is there for that employee. Forming part of retirement benefit means portion of the DA amount is considered for the purpose of calculation of your retirement benefit. Wherever I am recording DA within the bracket T, it means it is in terms, it is forming part of retirement benefit. Wherever I am recording just DA, it means it is not forming part of retirement benefit. In the question, they can give you in terms or not in terms. Clear? But for the purpose of calculation over here, suppose 8,000 is your DA. Okay. 40% will form part of retirement benefits. Now, how much is the money that you are going to consider over here? 8,000 multiplied by 40%. How much is it? 3,200. So, 3,200 multiplied by 12 as usual. Months. This is for 1 month. So, this is multiplied by 12. Clear? In terms of employment means forming part of retirement benefit. That is what it means. Next, turnover commission. Have I stated only commission or have I stated turnover commission? Turnover. What is turnover? Sales. Will I consider profit commission here? No. Will I consider any sales commission over here? Sales is turnover only, no. So turnover commission is included. Profit commission is not included. Managerial commission is not included. Nothing. Only turnover commission is considered. Everyone, which is going to be fixed percentage of turnover. Everyone, what is it? Fixed percentage of turnover. If we are specified in the question specifically 5% on the turnover, it means that fixed percentage means it should not be variable. It should not be some 15% to 20%. No, it should be 15 means 15 only. 8 means 8 only. It should not be 8 to 15. It should not be 8 to 16. That variation shouldn't be there. 15 means 15% only. That is what fixed percentage of turnover means. Clear? This total you will consider, and this total, let's imagine this total has come up to 10 lakh. Example only. Okay. No. We'll consider this total salary is coming up to 6 lakh. Now tell me what you will do. You will consider over here 10% of salary. So now tell me 96,000 minus 10% of salary is going to be 6 lakh multiplied by 10% is 60,000. 60,000 minus 96,000? 36,000. Now 50% of the 40% of the salary for the relevant period. What do I mean by relevant period? That is for that is respective previous year. 50% of 40% means 50% is going to be considered. This star should come here. 50% is considered as for metro cities. Salary we already know. Salary we already computed. Salary definition is the same for HRA. Entire HRA. Basic plus DA in terms plus turnover commission, fixed percentage of turnover. Salary is already defined. You can multiply it by 40% or 50% depending on which city you are staying, which city that employee is staying. If that employee is staying in metro cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai. Bangalore is not covered as metro cities for the purpose of definition in your HR. If they given the question as Bangalore, don't get emotional. If Bangalore is also a metro city, no emotions involved, only provisions involved. How can they say metro Bangalore is not a metro city? I will record as metro city. They will also record as 0. Simple. Understanding? You go under emotion. They also go under emotion. No emotions involved. It is just going to be 50%. 50% for metro city. Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai. 4 are metro cities. Apart from that, you get any place. Kanpur, Surat, Gujarat, Bangalore, Mysore, whatever it is, it's going to be 40% only. Everyone, this is going to be what? 40% only. So now 6 lakh multiplied by 40%. How much is it going to be? 2,40,000. Everyone. Now tell me whichever is lower. 36,000. So you are going to get 36,000 as your exemption. Least of the following is exempted. So 36,000 would be considered as your exempted amount. Now your taxable HRA would be 24,000. 24,000 would be your taxable HRA. Everyone, your taxable HRA would be how much, people? Your taxable HRA would be 24,000. Done. Everyone. Clear, people? Comfortable, everyone? Great. Now, so now let's do a question for this HRA. Wherever possible, we'll try to cover the questions along with the concept. If some question requires too many concepts, we'll cover that entire concept, whatever is relevant, and then we'll come back to the question. Okay. Yes, I'll share this PDF here. They will give you the hard copy. I'll share the yesterday's PDF and this income from salary PDF also in the group after completion of these classes. Okay. After completion of these classes, I'll share. Which one? DNSP? Yes, it's fully taxable. DNSP in terms, not in terms, whatever it is, it's 100% taxable like wages. Fully taxable. Now, so everyone, Mr. Rajkumar has the following receipts from his employer: basic pay, DNS allowance, commission, motor car for personal use, house rent, allowance. 40,000, 6,000, 50,000, 1,500, 15,000. Find out the amount of HRA exempted in the hands of Mr. Rajkumar, assuming he has paid rent of 60,000, accommodation, DA for retirement benefits, etc., opting out of default tax return. Remember one very, very, very important point. Under section 115 BAC, whatever the exemption which you will calculate up, if you do one question, you clearly understand. That calculation of exemption would not be applicable for your that is HRA for your 115 BAC. Everyone? See here, the first point which you are covering under your that the table I told you, we'll come back to that table very often once we complete that respective point. This table restricts certain exemptions or deductions, means whatever has been listed in the table, which you can see over here till here, those deductions, those exemptions are not available. If those exemptions are not available, means whatever the amount you have received, that itself becomes taxable. So can I say this HRA which is coming under section 10 subsection 13A, that exemption is not available in case of 115 BAC. So when you're doing the question with respect to 115 BAC, will you take HRA exemption? No, we will not do any calculation. Whatever amount received, directly that becomes taxable. Clear? Only in case of normal provision that calculation persists. One more point. That point of 10 subsection 13A which we are speaking is not speaking about HRA concept, it's speaking about exemption on that HRA concept. HRA concept has not been defined anyway. It is completely considered under the exemption. 10 section 10 in your income tax completely speaks about exemption, nothing else. Exemption, 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 deductions, that's it. No other point comes under section 10. So whenever section 10 comes, you should remember one point, that is mandatorily speaking about exemption for one point or for the other point. Understanding everyone? So 10 subsection 13A is speaking about your HRA travel concession. Here 10, 10, 10, 10, all these are the exemptions only. See, this is deduction. Wherever 10 is coming in, 10 in your Income Tax Act 1961 is speaking about exemptions only. It can't speak about anything else. Clear? HRA, first point we have covered under your 115 BAC. HRA is going to be considered as your, HRA is your, as per 115 BAC. Are you going to get exemption for HRA? No, we are not going to get any exemption. Remember this point pretty well. Because every point we are studying here will be carried forwarded till the end session of our classes. Because we are going to do all the majority questions, big question, lengthy questions, everything we'll do in the classes only. Both from CMA material and CA material simultaneously. Clear everyone? Understood? I'll tell you people, CMA people specifically, if you are able to solve a CA level questions, you'll easily clear in your exams. Because CA level questions when compared to CMA are little bit complicated in exam also. CA level questions are little bit complicated when compared to CMA. So it is an added advantage if you are able to solve CA level questions. I can guarantee you can easily solve your CMA questions also easy. Clear? Everyone? Now you guys tell me, what is the provision states? First of all, what is the question asking? They are asking the question, find out the amount of HRA exempted in the hands of this fellow, Mr. Rajkumar. Correct? So, how much is the HRA received, people? HRA received is 15,000 rupees per month. So, now tell me, how much is the HRA received? To make it as taxable, first of all, 15,000 multiplied by 12. How much is it? 1 lakh? 80,000. Now, minus exempted under section 10 subsection 13A. Lower of the least of the following would be exempted. Everyone, least of the following would be exempted. First of all, the least of the following, first point is HRA received. Actual amount received, actual HRA received. How much is it going to be? 1,80,000. Second point, rent paid minus 10% of salary. Everyone, what is rent paid here? See, they have given in the question, how much is the rent paid, people? This fellow is paying 16,000 rupees per month. So now tell me, 16,000 multiplied by 12 months minus 10% of salary, right? What is salary, people? Basic plus DA in terms plus turnover commission. Have they given basic? Yes. Have they given in terms? See, nothing given in the question. You can assume in terms or not in terms. But it is better to assume in terms only. Given in the question in terms, take it easy. Given in the question, 6,000 rupees per month, 40% forming part of retirement benefit, take only 40% because that is in terms. Nothing given in the question. For simplicity purpose, as per ICI, wherever it is silent, they have considered it is in terms only. So you also consider it as in terms. So now tell me, how much is it going to be? 40,000 rupees plus 6,000 multiplied by 12 months. No. What about commission? We have not taken commission. No. Exactly. This commission, whatever 50,000 we have considered, is it in fixed percentage of turnover? Commission has to be fixed percentage of turnover. It is fixed amount per annum. It is not in commission turnover. It is fixed amount. Fixed percentage means they should have given turnover is 1 crore, percentage on turnover for the purpose of commission. Commission percentage is 2%, which is going to be 2 lakh rupees would be considered as salary definition. Have they given a year? No. So what we will do, we'll just ignore it. Now, see, motor car for personal use expenses met by the employer, all these points becomes relevant in your doing full-fledged question. We are only doing HRA exemption over here because they are asking the question only HRA exemption. We are not going to do something extra which they have not asked. What they've asked, we are going to give a solution for that. Just because you know something you give in excess, waste of your time only. They are not going to give you any extra marks. Done? Everyone, there should be some balance between the knowledge also, between the marks fetching also. With the knowledge, without the marks, there is no respect. Even though you have full knowledge, without the marks and without the degree, no respect. You have degree and you don't have knowledge, again, no respect. That situation still worst. You have no respect. You are qualified, you don't even know this much. People will tell that only. Because people will see highly of the qualifieds. Professional course people, they'll see highly. They feel, other people feel like they know everything. But in reality, there's something different. Clear? Done. It is going to be so much. So tell me, what is the ultimate outer column amount, people? 40,000 plus 6,000, 46,000 multiplied by 12, 5,52,000 minus 10, into 10%, minus this amount. Okay, tell me what is the outer column amount over here. Everyone got the same amount, people? Just a simple calculation, no complications. Third point, where is this fellow staying? Kanpur. Is it a metro city? No. What are those metro cities? Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai, Kolkata. 4. Is Bangalore a metro city? No. Good. No emotions. So 40% of salary. 40% of salary, year salary means the same calculation you will do. 40 plus 6 into multiplied by 12. So 46,000 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 40%, how much would you get, people? 2 lakh 20,800 is how much? Least of the following would be exempted. What is the least of the following? So the least of the following is 1,36,800. What is your taxable HRA? 43,200. Clear, everyone? Understood, people? 43,200. Done? Clear, people? This is the solution for your illustration. Done. Please adjust with my handwriting. It goes like this on. So please start writing, people. Yes, working note is necessary. Yes. People, when you're writing this, I will give you working note for few. Whenever we are doing a question, first a full-fledged question. This question, I will not give you any working note. When you're doing first 1 or 2 full-fledged question in each chapter, I will give you working note. Following questions should be followed with the working note from your end. Understood? This question you can write the definition of salary, etc. But working note is not necessary for this one. Going forward, we'll understand. People, working note should form part of your answer. If answer is for 6 marks, 3 marks will be allotted for working note, 3 marks will be allotted for your solution. 10 marks, 50% of the marks allotted will be for working note. So make sure that you are doing that working note also. Then ten people written. So we'll do one thing, we'll take break. 8:50 being the time, 9:30 we'll be back and then we'll continue. Okay. Online students, please take break. 9:30 we'll be back. 40 minutes being the break time. Everyone, let's continue with the next question. Test your knowledge. Question number 1. ICM material being the source. Everyone, done? Call. Where he was? When did you come? 7 only. Where are you sitting? You were not here. You're sitting in front. Where's your friend? Next to you is one person was sitting. He's attending on time. Great. Having some consistency, that is good. Either offline or online. Okay. So now. So everyone, if you're sitting in certain place, no, if I'm sitting from here, if you are sitting consistently in one place, our brain will fix that this person is sitting at respective place. If you don't see them, then we'll think like that person has not come out. So that was the thing. Now, so let's continue with the test your knowledge question, people. Test your knowledge question number 1. Mr. Mohit is employed with XY Limited on XY Limited on a basic salary of 10,000 per month. He is also entitled to a DA of 100% basic salary, 50% of which is included in salary as per the terms of employment. The company gives him house rent allowance HRA of 6,000 per month, which was increased to 7,000 per month with effective from 1/1/2024. He also get an increment of 1,000 per month in his basic salary with effect from 1/2/2024. Rent paid by him during the PY 23-24 is as under. April and May 2023, nil has he stayed with his parents. June to October 2023, 6,000 per month for an accommodation in Gazidabad. November 2023 to March 2024, 8,000 per month for an accommodation in Delhi. Compute his gross salary for AY 24-25, assuming he exercises the option to shift out of default tax regime under 115 BAC. Suppose if they would have given in the question that fellow has opted for 115 BAC, would you give HR exemption? Would you even calculate exemption under section 10 subsection 13A? No, we would not do it. Understanding everyone? Clear? Now, always read the question in a plain language, identifying the question. Now, all of us know we are in the chapter of income from salary. So, it is very sure we are getting the question from that particular head. In your exam, it will be completely jumbled. You need to identify which concept, plain reading works. Second time when you're starting the reading, start with your what is required. Have they asked you net salary or gross salary? We just ask you gross salary, assuming the answer is the option of 115 BAC. Sorry, he has opted out of the option of 115 BAC. It means he is not opting in for default tax regime. He is opting in for normal provisions only. That is what this line means. Clear? Now, you have to calculate gross salary. Fine, we'll do that. Mr. Mohit, this fellow is employed with XY Limited on the basic salary of how much? 10,000 per month. Basic salary is given in the question. This salary definition under your HRA would include this basic salary. Salary definition under HRA. Would it include basic salary? Absolutely yes. He is also entitled to DNS allowance at 100% of basic salary. And DA 100% of the basic salary, 50% of which is included as per terms. 50% under your HRA. Very well, fine. What about your actual computation, full-fledged computation? 100% of your basic salary means whatever the DNS allowance amount which will be equal to, that will be coming under the outer column. Everyone? Next, the company gives him HRA of 6,000 rupees per month. Company gives him HRA. How much is the HRA? Actual HRA received 6,000, which was increased to 7,000 from 1/1/2024. From next year, that is till 31st December, he was getting 6,000 per month. But from the month of Jan, he is getting how much? 7,000. That is from Jan to March, he is getting 7,000. From April to December, he is getting 6,000. That is what it states. He also got an increment of 1,000 rupees per month in his basic salary with effective from 1st February 2024. So from April to Jan, he was getting the increment in his basic salary is 1,000 per month. How much is the basic salary given in the question? 10,000. This is what he was drawing as on March. General assumption he was getting when he was drawing in the month of what? In the month of March. Everyone? See, he is employed with a basic salary of 10,000 per month. Everyone? Now, he has got an increment of 1,000 higher from Feb to March. Everyone? Clear? Now, rent paid by him during the PY 23-24 is rent paid from April to May, nil as he stayed with his parents. Now, you guys tell me, will you have any exemption under HRA if he is staying with his parents where he's not actually spending on rent? Will he get any HRA exemption? I told you this thing. If he actually spends only then he's going to get HRA exemption. Receipt of this HRA money is different. Exemption getting is different. You're receiving HRA money, it is as per your term and employer term. You guys are in good terms, you're getting money. Exemption you will be getting only if it is stated in the provision. No? So provision is clearly stated, you actually spend, you will get HRA exemption. Are you spending over here? No. So will you get any HRA exemption? No. The HRA exemption will be nil. So can I say whatever the HRA amount which you have received for the month of April and May, entire amount would become taxable. Everyone, these 2 months, entire amount would become taxable. Clear? Now, June to October, 6,000 per month for an accommodation in Gazidabad. June to October. How much he has paid? 6,000. Gazidabad, is it metro city or non-metro city? Non-metro city. So how much he would be considered? 40% of salary. Very, very great. From which month to which one? From June to October. November to March, 8,000 for an accommodation in Delhi. He shifted, he is paying in Delhi. Will Delhi come under metro city? Yes. How much is that? He will be getting exemption of 50% of salary. When will your HRA exemption be same from April to March of the respective year? Is that if you have no changes in HRA receipt, if you have no changes in rent paid, if you have no changes in salary component, if you have no changes in that 40-50%. Whatever the HRA exemption point we have seen, what is that list of the following first point being covered under? Actual HRA receipt. Is actual HRA receipt same throughout the year? No, it has changed. So you can't keep the same HRA calculation for multiplying it by entire 12 months because your actual HRA changed. Is rent paid same throughout the year? No, it has changed. So is the rent paid change, people? 6,000 and 8,000 year. Is the rent paid changed? Yes. If the rent paid has changed, again your HRA calculation can't be same throughout the year. Now, next, 10% of the salary. Is salary definition same? There is some changes now, people. See here, 1,000 per month in his basic salary. Increment has happened. Everyone, if the increment has happened, tell me, is it going to be same or different? Different. So from April to March, this fellow was earning 10,000. In the month of Feb and March, he is earning 11,000. This 10,000 rupees per month he is staying, he is getting this salary as normal as usual from April to Jan. Last year March he was getting same thing. This year April to Jan he is getting the same thing. Feb and March of this 2024 is getting how much? 11,000. So this is 11,000 over here. Next, 40% or 50% of the salary. Is it same in the calculation? No, it is changed. So now we have to identify the common points wherein you can do the calculation in a common basis. Everyone, you can do the calculation in absolutely common basis. We have to do that. So how we are going to do is that we are going to do the computation or the calculation for everything. Everyone, I will do for one or two. Similar calculation, you please observe how we are doing, what we are considering. Similarly, you guys please do it for the next part. Okay, great. You can write it later. First, just follow whatever I am stating. See, if you can observe here, can I differentiate or can I make some common months as a point instead of April, May, June, July, calculating it separately? You can calculate separately, but it is time consuming. It will take a lot of time. April, May, June, 12 months you have to do. It is going to be time consuming. So what we will do is that we will calculate the common months wherein the changes will not be affected in that total calculation, subtotals calculation. Done. So can I say I can make an point of April 2023 to May 2023? Can I make this point? See here, April to May, you don't have any problem in life. Everyone, do you have any problem? He's not getting any HR exemption only. So no calculation is only concerned. So I'm directly going to calculate everything taxable and I'm going to show it as taxable. Everyone, April to May, I have no problem. Great. Now, what about the next point? From June to October, you have 6 months receivable. Totally fine. Consider. Is there any changes which is happening in actual HRA received from June to October? No. Do you have any changes coming in the rent paid from June to October? No, because the changes have happened in December and Feb. Salary definition changed in Feb, so you don't have any problem from June to October. 40% or 50% also changed, but after from November to March till October, June to October, I can calculate as one category. Everything is same. You just need to multiply it by with respective months. June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. Everyone, this is 2 months and this is 3 from June 2023 to October 2023. How many months? 5 months. Everyone, clear people? Next, after this, from November to March. November to March, you have 50% in common fine. But what about there are a lot of changes happening from November to March? November and December, you are receiving the HRA of 6,000. From Jan, you are receiving from 7,000. So obviously there should be that 2 months will be a separate category. Later on, we'll see. So in this 2 months of C, which is from November 2023 to December 2023. 23. These 2 months will be under one category. Every month, these 2 months will be under one category. Next, November to December done. Jan, Feb, March, 3 months is there. From Jan to March, you have 7,000 common, fine. But you have salary changes affected from Feb, no? So Jan month alone will be under a separate category. Understanding, everyone? You can do every month separately, but it is going to take a lot of time. April month separately, March, this continuous calculation. So we are doing under category. D is going to be Jan 2024 separately. How many months? 1 month. Next, E category will be Feb and March. Feb 24 to March 24. How much? 2 months. Simple, people. Clear? Now we have to do the calculation based on this 5 category normal HRA calculation component. We have to make sure what is the salary definition, what is the point definition, everything need to be considered properly. Clear? Everyone? Done? Great. So let's do the calculation, people. So particulars, this is serial number category 1, 2, 3 also. Particulars. So we'll make it as year April 23 to May 23. Next, June 23 to October 23. Next, November 23 to December 23. Next, Jan 24. Next, Feb 24 to March 24. Clear, everyone? 5 categories. Now, so let's complete, people. First one. What's the first calculation going to be? Actual HRA receipt. Out of that only you are going to calculate your exemptions. No. So, first point, HRA receipt. We are going to do the computation. What is that HRA receipt in the question? 6,000 rupees per month. So 6,000 per month. You can do the calculation. 6,000 per month multiplied by 2 months. Here it is 2, 5, 2, 1 category you have to consider. No, multiplied by 2 months and 6,000 rupees multiplied by 5 months. It has been changed in which year? Jan. From the month of Jan, your HRA changed to 7,000. So till November, December, you have no problem for life. 6,000 multiplied by 2. You can do this computation. So after that, what happened? 7,000 multiplied by 1, then 7,000 multiplied by 2. Clear? Everyone? So now, after considering the actual HRA receipt, less exempted under section, what is the section people? 10 subsection 30A. Least of the following is exempted. Least of the following is exempted. Now tell me, list of the following is exempted. Which is the first criteria, people? HRA, actual HRA receipt. Actual HRA receipt. So with regarding to the actual HRA receipt, tell me what you are going to record. Whatever you have recorded in the no, that first line, the same thing you are going to record here. It is going to be the copy paste of the same point. 6,000 multiplied by 2, 6,000 multiplied by 5, whatever you have recorded, same thing you will record here. Clear? Great. Second, rent paid minus 10% of salary. For this, you need to compute the rent paid. See, what you can do is that you can make a full computation in the first table. Calculations, you can make it below. That is accepted. And simultaneously, if you do the calculation, these sort of questions, you can do the calculations within that respective point, and then you can give the upper column to the final amount. Understood? So the third point you can record over here and consider the taxable HRA to be so much and do all the working note in this point. Calculations, basically salary calculations, rent paid calculations, etc. Or if you feel like no, I will do within the same point, after 2 I'll do all the points and then I'll record the highlight the actual answer, that also you can do. What we will do is that we will record within the same point instead of writing this there and all. No. So that you'll clearly understand what we're recording. I'm recording rent paid here. Everyone, what is going to be your rent paid? First month. Are you going to make any rent paid? No. So this first column, your actually HRA receive, whatever is that, you will not get any exemption only first of all. 1013E is not applicable for April and May because it's not paying any rent. Everyone, because it's not paying any rent. Great. So tell me for the second one, people. How much is that fellow paying in the month of June to October? Where is it? Where is it? Yes, 6,000 per month from June to October. Everyone, how much is the rent that fellow is paying? 6,000 multiplied by 5. After that, how much was he paying? 7,000, 8,000. He was paying 7 or 8 people. He was paying 8,000 per month in Delhi. Clear? So, year afterwards, this fellow keeps on paying how much? 8,000. 8,000 multiplied by 2 over here. 8,000 multiplied by 1. 8,000 multiplied by 2. Clear? Rent paid. After rent paid, what else you have? Salary. People, salary. So now, tell me salary. Salary consists of basic salary plus DA in terms plus turnover commission. What is your basic, people? Here it is nil. Basic is very well 10,000 per month plus DA. So DA is going to be 100% of the basic salary. Whatever is given there, it's same thing is given here. But what is forming part of retirement benefits? Only 50%. So for the purpose of calculation, how much you are considering? 5,000. 5,000. 10,000 plus 5,000. Do you have any turnover commission given in the question? No. If nothing is given, what you will do? You will remain silent. So 10,000 plus 5,000 multiplied by 5 years. You lay there how many months? If you want to add a column over here, you add it. How many number of months? So 2, 5, 5, you will get the point over there only. If you want to add a line, 9, add. You can do it. Okay. Now, how much is it going to be? You guys do the calculations later. So here it is going to be when the salary has changed in the month of Feb. Let's see here, people. When the salary is basic salary is changed in Feb. So till Feb, you have no problem for life. You keep on doing the same calculation, that is 10,000 plus 5,000 multiplied by 2. Again, 10,000 plus 5,000 multiplied by 1. Next, 11,000 plus 5,500, very well, multiplied by 2. And 50% of the basic salary, no. Basic salary is 11,000. 50% of that is going to be 5,500. After some days, you will scold me. Please write the further calculation. 10,000 multiplied by 50%. Everyone, wherever possible, I am giving the complete substantiation. So please don't scold me when you are studying. Everyone, after we die, we should go to heaven, not hell. So make sure that you are not cursing me, writing everything properly. 11,000 multiplied by 50%. That is going to be 5,500. That will be your DA. You can write a point over here. How did you get 5,000 also? You can write for one calculation. 10,000 multiplied by 50%. Then you shouldn't ask, where this 50% came? You read the question. 50% is the DA, and you have clearly mentioned it is DA in terms. Understanding? Wherever possible, not only here, everywhere, try to give the as many working note as possible, as clearly available as possible. You're doing some calculations in your mind, writing, expecting them to give your marks, thinking of reading your mind, not possible. So please don't expect anyone to read your mind. Please give the proper answer. Okay. After this is going to be your salary definition. This is going to be rent paid minus 10% of salary. Everyone. So whatever rent paid is provided here, you please give me for the first one, people, further calculations you can do. 6,000 multiplied by 5, 30, 30,000. Very well. 10,000 plus 5,000, 15,000, 15,000 multiplied by 5, 75,000. So now the calculation would go something like this. 30,000 is the rent paid minus 10% of 75,000. What is it going to be? 7,500. Please subtract from 30,000. 22,500. So what is the actual HRA received here? 30,000. Here also the same thing. 30,000. Clear, everyone? Salary paid also consider? Done. Next. So that entire calculation is done. The third point. What was the third point, people? 50% or 40% of salary. You can write a point here only. 50% in case of metro cities. Metro cities. 40% in case of others. In case of other than metro cities. Other than metro cities. In case of other than metro cities, 40%. In case of metro cities, 50%. Tell me, in case of the first one, do you have anything? No. No, HRS itself, it's not. Exemption itself is not available for that. So the first June to October, that fellow is staying in Ghaziabad. Ghaziabad, is it a metro city? No. So it is going to be considered as 40% as your, where is it? 40% of salary. Salary is already computed, 75,000. Done. The next calculation would be, that fellow is staying in Delhi from November to March. So from going forward, everywhere you are going to consider 50% of the salary. 50% of the salary, whatever you compute, salary computation is above. So you will do the same thing. It is going to be 50 year. It is going to be 50 year. It is going to be 50% year as well. Done. Everyone, great. After this, after doing, you please tell me for this one here. 50% I should write up. It's fine. Sure. Write it here. Tell me for this one, people. How much? 30? Okay. So it's going to be 30,000 a year. Done. So now you have 30,000 there, 30,000 a year, 30,000 a year. Least of the following is exempted. No. Tell me which is the least of the following people? 22,500. So 22,500 becomes your least of the following. That is 22,500 becomes your least of the following that would be exempted. Clear? Now tell me what is the taxable HRA? Taxable HRA. You already have 30,000 a year. Least of the following is 22,500 which is exempted. So how much you are going to get? 7,500. Everyone, how much you are going to get? 7,500. That will be a taxable HRA. Clear? Understood people what we are doing? All the calculations are given. You need to substantiate the amount and you should give the solution. Done? Will you do it? So please start doing it. Please start it. See, but they should mention it as Delhi only because they can't expect us to know the within the respective state. No? They can't expect us to know the entire part of it. Given as Delhi, please consider as Delhi. Ghaziabad can be in the other place also. Everyone, there is Vijayanagar in Bangalore also, Vijayanagar in Mysore also. So if they give Vijayanagar, we will assume it to be in Bangalore. Vijayanagar can be in any place. So if they specifically mention as Delhi, please mention, please record it as Delhi. If not, please don't record. Okay. Places names are repeated in multiple places. So it is not good to assume things. We'll consider only 4. Specifically given as Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai and Chennai, we'll consider. Within, apart from that, anything else, please don't assume. Consider it as normal 40%. Other than metro cities. Please write it down here. Please write down. Please make the respective columns. Write for April, May, June, October as you have recording over here. Similarly, you can do the further calculations also. It is your wish if you want to copy down like this, like this. If you want to take it like that. Just complete your classwork. That's your request. Those have done the calculation. Please tell me the figures here. So 6,000 into 2, 12,000. Next, what will be your taxable HRA in that case? The taxable HRA in the case of Jan to May would be, everything would be exempted. So the entire, sorry, everything would be, exemption would not be available. So entire 12,000 becomes taxable here. So here in this case, 6 into 12,000. So here also it's in the case of 12,000. So 8,000 into 2, 16,000 rent pay. So tell me 15 into 2, 30,000. Rent paid shall be 16,000 minus 10% of 30,000. Wherever I use the term K, please use zeros. You guys also don't write K in exam, also they will give 0. So no KL used. Just for your fast writing, I'm just using that 30,000 K and L in the place. So please tell me the calculation. 16,000 minus 10% of this one. It's going to be 13,000. Everyone. Now, so 50% of 30,000 would lead to 15. Where is it? This is 15,000. Clear. This is going to be 7,000. This is going to be 14,000. This is 7,000 and this is 14,000. Rent paid 8 into 1 8,000. This is 16,000. Now basic plus DA. This is going to be 15. 11 plus 5,500 is how much here? 16,500. 16,500 into 2. 33,000. Now 50% of 15,000. 50% of 33,000. 50% of 15,000 is 7,500. 50% of 33 is 16,500. So I'll write the same thing. Now tell me the rent paid calculation over here. 8,000 minus 10% of 15,000. How much is it? 6,000. Very well. Next, after that, calculation. 16,000 minus 10% of 33,000. How much is it? 12,700. Now you have the least of the following people. Tell me the least of the following for this situation. 12,000, 13,000, 16, sorry, 12,000, 13,000, 15,000. Which one? 12,000 is the exempted amount. Everyone. Next, 7,000, 6,500 and 7,500. 6,500. Next, 14, 12,700, 16,500. 12,700. Everyone. This is going to be the final amount. This is going to be the final amount and this is going to be the final. This is going to be final. It was looking good before only. Done? Everyone? Clear? Okay. The taxable HRA in this case would be 12,000. So whatever you are recording over here, 22,000, this is 12,000. Next, 6,500 exempted amount. This is 12,700. Please do the minus of this and tell me the same amount, people. Taxable HRA. Someone please do it. 30 minus 22,500, 7,500. Next after that, 12,000 minus 12,000 nil. 7,000 minus 6,500 500. Next 14,000 minus 12,700 1,300. This will become your taxable HRA. Those who haven't done, please do it, people. Very fast. We'll do the next question. Done, people? Clear? Completed writing? Done, people? Clear? We'll move forward with the next question. Do a question from CMMT. So everyone, So let's do this question from CMA material, source being CMA. Now, compute the taxable income of HRA of Mr. Abhijit opts for old regime from the following data. Basic salary 5,000 per month, DA 2,000 per month, HRA 4,000 per month, rent paid 4,000 per month in Pune. So this fellow was receiving basic salary 5,000 per month, DA was receiving 2,000 per month, HRA was receiving 4,000 per month, and rent which he was paying is in Pune. Everyone? Now, on 1/7/2023, there is an increment in basic salary from 1,000, that is by 1,000. So now 5,000 rupees salary has become how much? 6,000 from this day. Similar question of what we have seen in the previous question, the same, similar question, small changes. On 1/10/2023, employee hired a new flat in Kolkata at the same rent as he was posted to Kolkata. So same rent was paid. But when it comes to Kolkata, it is going to be 40% or 50%. This in Pune, it is going to be 40%. Employee purchased his own flats and resides there from 1st January. From Jan to March, will there be any exemption that he would get under 1013A exemption? Does he get any exemption? No. So there is entire amount will be fully taxable. Every previous question what we saw, this is a much simpler question when compared to the previous one. That clear. Now tell me, is there any changes in the basic salary? Yes. From which date? From July. So from April to June, can you see you can do a similar calculation from April to June, that is April, May, June, 3 months. 3 months over here. And there is an increment in basic salary by 1,000. From which day? From July. And next changes has come in October. So July, August, September. 3 months. July to September. I can consider 3 months calculation further. Next, from October to December. Again, next 3 months. From October to December. Again, 3 months. The further changes I need to see. The next 3 months, there is no exemption at all. Everything becomes fully taxable. Whatever calculation we have done, that will be the same point over here, people. Everyone, it will be the same point which I would be considering over here. Now, tell me for first 3 months. Actual rent, actual HRA paid is how much? 4,000 rupees multiplied by 3. So it is going to be 12,000. So 4,000 multiplied by 3, 12,000. The next one, rent paid minus 10% of salary. How much is the rent paid? 4,000 per month. So 4,000 per month multiplied by 3, 12,000. Next, 10% of the salary. What is my salary amount? Basic is 5. DA is 2. Up till July, I have no problem. There's changes happening only in the month of July. So can I consider 5,000 plus 2,000? Nothing mentioned. You should always consider it is in terms. So 5,000 plus 2,000, 7,000. 7,000 multiplied by 10%. 700. Sorry, this is per month. No, sorry. That multiplied by number of months. How much is it going to be? Multiplied by 3. So very simple. 5,000 plus 2,000. 7,000 multiplied by 3 equals to 21,000 multiplied by 10% would give you 2,100. Minus 12,000 rent paid. You would get 9,900. Next one would be, it is in Pune. Is Pune considered as metro city as per the taxation? No. Only Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai, Kolkata is considered as metro cities. So Pune is not a metro city. This Pune is considered as 40% of the salary. What is the salary? Salary total? 21,000. 21,000 multiplied by 40%. How much should you get, people? 3,000? 8,400. So 8,400 is the amount you are getting. Least of the following would be exempted. The least would be considered as 8,400 here. The same thing we are going to do here. Record here. 12,000 minus 8,400. 3,600. Everyone understood, people? the same point, similar calculation, you are going to do it for the next point also. Next point, the only changes which you are going to do is that 6,000 rupees. So before it was 5,000, now it is increased to 6,000. DA will not change because it is going to be fixed. Everyone, so 6,000 plus 2,000, 8,000 multiplied by 10%. That is whatever number of months multiplied into 10% would give you 10% of the salary. Clear everyone? Are you understood people? Comfortable? Everyone? Everyone? Done. So this is what you are going to do in this entire HRA question. And the other HRA question which you have is very simpler. This will be a homework. Very simpler basic HRA calculation is illustration 8. Everyone, this is going to be a homework question. Understood with the concept of HRA people? Everyone? Clear? So now let's move to the next concept. Done people? The other question which I have given as homework is the simplest question. The first question which we have done, it is similar to that. Complicated questions we have done in the class. Similar point is exist. Everyone clear? Wait. Lot of things are there in this chapter. So we'll move forward with the next point. Annuity or pension. Annuity is nothing, is treated as salary only. It is yearly granted amount. If you are getting any annuity, you are going to make it as taxable. Now let's get into pension. All of us have heard about the concept of pension at least once. Not concept at least. Can you show? That is, can you see what is meant by pension people? Your understanding. Your understanding of pension. That's it. Post-retirement, whatever you are going to get, the amount, they will give it in the form of pension. Everyone, they will give it in the form of pension. Now, pensions are of two types as per income tax. One is lump sum pension and one is periodic pension. Periodic pension means you can receive it in per month. Every month on the same date you are going to get that pension amount, or every quarter you are going to get the same pension amount, or every yearly you are going to get the pension amount, or every annually you are going to get it. That is periodic payment means it is in regular intervals. You can get it in monthly, you can get it in quarterly, or you can get it in semi-annually. Anything is possible. Everyone. So these 4 points being concerned, these 4 periodic pensions, periodic dates being concerned, we call it as uncommuted pension. Uncommuted pensions are something which are received in periodic basis. Commuted pensions are something which you have received it in lump sum. Lump sum means in total. Lump sum means in total. One short settlement will be called as lump sum. Everyone? Now, exemptions in respect of commuted pension. Now, pensions are of two types, commuted pension and uncommuted pension. Always remember, uncommuted pensions are fully taxable. Uncommuted pensions are, what do I mean by fully taxable? You receive even single rupee as uncommuted pension without any exemption, everything would be considered as taxable. So fully taxable means for both government and others. For both government and other, it would be considered as uncommuted pension. Everyone, what do I mean by uncommuted pension people? Uncommuted pensions are periodical pensions that is going to be fully taxable. Now it is fully taxable for both government and others. Everyone, it is going to be available for both government and others. It is going to be fully taxable. Everyone, clear people, it is going to be fully taxable. Then, now, With regarding to the pension which are commuted pension. Commuted pensions are lump sum. Lump sum means in one shot, in one time settlement. Remember, government employees who are lucky people for life, whatever pension amount you receive, it is going to be fully exempted for them. Lucky people only. Work also lucky. Timings also lucky. Salary also lucky. Time also lucky. Tax also they are lucky. Fully exempted. Everyone. So government employees are going to be fully exempted. Anyone have the intention of becoming government employee in the future? No, if I work, I should work in government organization only. No one? Good. Government employee is going to be fully exempted. Pension amount I am speaking about, not the other point. I am specifically speaking about pension. And the pension exemption has been spoken in section 10, subsection 10A. Everyone, HRA section number provision mandatory you need to remember. If you are able to remember pension section number, provisions though you need to remember. If you are able to remember, remember, otherwise it's fine. It doesn't mean that you quit now only. I've told you. This point, whatever I told, it's an exam only. You should make effort to remember. If you are not able to recall, then you can skip. But exemption, HRA exemption, section number is also important. This section 10, section 10. Government employee, commuted pension is what I am speaking about. I am stressing this term because I will come back to it later. Commuted pension, lump sum, government employee receiving it fully exempted. Uncommuted pension received by anyone, government or other people, any employees, that's going to be fully taxable. Can I say for government employee, uncommuted pension only becomes taxable. Commuted pension doesn't become taxable. For other employees, uncommuted also becomes taxable, uncommuted also becomes taxable. Uncommuted pension for other employees is going to be considered under the points. Done? First of all, these people are hardworking people without any job security. Login timing 5 minutes late means half day salary cut. And moreover, they should pay the tax and die. Everything is provided for them. Lucky, no? So other employees received gratuity. Now comes the point of received gratuity, not received gratuity. Remember, gratuity is the next part of discussion. That is, we have the next discussion is gratuity only. Remember, as of now, gratuity is something which you are receiving as a retirement benefit. Like pension, you will receive gratuity. It is one of the retirement benefit. So when you are receiving the gratuity, can I say there is exemption provided for gratuity also. That is, so much of exemption would be provided for gratuity. If you are receiving pension and gratuity, can I say you will be receiving exemption in two categories? Pension also you will be getting exemption, gratuity also you will be getting exemption. Whereas if you have not received gratuity amount itself is not received, will you get any exemption on gratuity? No. Only if you have that income, you will get that exemption. If you don't have that income only, where is the concept of exemption coming in? Understanding? So what is it going to be? Exempted income, half of the total pension, that is commuted plus uncommuted. Now, 2 points under commuted pension lump sum. That is received gratuity, not received gratuity. If I am speaking about gratuity received, exempted income would be 1/3 of the total pension. I am calculating exemption for commuted pension. But for the purpose of calculating the exemption amount for commuted pension, I am taking the total pension calculation purpose only. Everyone, I'll take a small example. See, let's consider the commuted pension which you have received is 4 lakh. Exemption amount, not least of the following, the exemption amount under section 10(10)AA is going to be received the gratuity. Received gratuity. You have received the gratuity in this first instance. How much would be exempted for you? 1/3 of the total pension. Let's consider uncommuted pension being 1 lakh. Example purpose. Okay. How much is your total pension? 5 lakh. What is 1/3 of 5 lakh? 1,33,333. 1,66,666. Can I say 1,66,666 becomes the exempted amount? if you have received the gratuity, one point you need to observe, you have considered the total pension of both commuted plus uncommuted for the purpose of calculation of your exemption. And you're calculating that exemption for what purpose? For commuted pension purpose, not uncommuted. Calculation, you're taking more amount. See here, more the amount over here, more the exemption that you would get. Calculate 1 by 3 of 6 lakh, you'll get 2 lakh. 1 by 3 into 6 lakh. Suppose instead of 5 lakh, it is 6 lakh. You'll get 2 lakh as the exemption. So can I say this numerator amount, whatever you're writing, if it is more, the exemption amount which you get is also more. That's an advantage for you. So the department is like, if you are having any commuted pension, we will give you a little bit higher amount as exemption. We'll give you some favor by considering the total pension in your calculation, which should consider commuted plus uncommuted. Whatever we are calculating here is exemption under section 10 subsection 10A. This calculation we are doing it here, and you are going to subtract this from the 4 lakh, and you are going to get how much? 2,33,333. How much will you get here? Same, no? 2,33,333 is the taxable commuted pension, that you would get. Everyone? Understanding people, taxable commuted pension would be so much. Now tell me, what will you do if you have not received the gratuity? All the points remain same, 1 lakh, 4 lakh. Not received the gratuity means you will consider 1 by 2 of the total pension. What is 1 by 2 of the total pension? 2,50,000. So can I say 2.5 lakh is the exemption that you would get? What would be taxable is only 1.5 lakh. What does it mean is very simple. If you have received the gratuity, department is like you will get exemption in both the places. So I'll do one thing. In pension, I will make it as 1 by 3rd so that your calculation of your exemption under pension, commuted pension becomes less. Taxability will be more when compared to not receiving gratuity. Not receiving gratuity means you're not having gratuity income only. Do you have gratuity exemption? You're getting exemption only under one point. What is it? Commuted pension. So we'll give you a little bit higher. 1 by 2 of the total pension I'll give you as exemption. Enjoy. 50% I'll give you exemption. So to 1.5 lakh will be a taxable amount over here. If you have received the gratuity, you will get exemption as 2 lakh 30, taxable as 2 lakh 32,000. Understood everyone? Are you clear? Why have they given gratuity received, not received gratuity point separately? Because they want to give you advantage separately. And remember this point, total pension. Calculation of pension questions are absolutely easy, provided you know 2 points. Received gratuity, exempted amount is 1 by 3rd of the total pension. Many people will they will consider commuted only. Because you're doing commuted pension, you'll consider only commuted. Wrong. Total pension you need to consider 1 by 3rd in case of received gratuity, not received gratuity 1 by 2 of the total pension. If you're able to keep these 2 points in mind, other things you will do. Clear everyone? Done? Now. See, until and unless it is stated in the table which I mentioned, 115 BAC, don't assume other things are exempted or other deductions are not available. If I mention as HRA, only HRA is not available under 115 BAC. I have not mentioned over there as pension, gratuity, as your leave encashment and all. Please don't consider the same. Breaking into pieces. Okay. Everyone. So it is going to be considered as exempted only to that extent of mentioned in the table, not considered in the table, not exempt. Clear everyone? Done? So we'll do the question for that very soon. Now, source CMA material. Mr. Amit has retired from his job on 31/3/2023. Okay. From 1/4/2023, he was entitled to a pension of how much? 3,000 per month. Next. on 1/8/2023, he got 80% of his pension commuted and received 1,20,000. Compute the taxable pension if he is a government employee, non-government employee not receiving gratuity, non-government employee receiving gratuity. Payment covered under POGA, not POGA, that's the next concept. That will not be a concern in this question. Clear? Covered under POGA, not covered under POGA doesn't matter. Received gratuity or not received gratuity is what that matters. Clear everyone? Are you understood everyone? No. So the first point is that they have stated from 1/4/2023 he was entitled to what? A pension of 3,000 per month. On 1/8/2023, what he has done? He has got his pension computed. So can I say from 1/4/2023 to 31/7/2023, you were receiving pension of 3,000 per month multiplied by 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 months. That is a everyone. You were receiving how much? 12,000 as your uncommuted pension. Then later on what you did on 1/8/2023, you got 80% of his pension commuted. So on totality basis, he has commuted, that is he has received 80% of his pension. Can I say this 3,000 rupees, whatever this fellow was receiving, represented periodic payments out of 100% of his pension? So now if 80% is commuted, 20% of his total pension would be still be given as uncommuted pension. Everyone would be still be given as uncommuted pension. So this 3,000 multiplied by from 1/8/2023 to 31st March 2024. How many months? 8 months. How much you are receiving? 3,000. 3,000 multiplied by 80% is his pension commuted. So remaining 20% is still like that. Everyone. So 3,000 multiplied by 20%, 600. 600 multiplied by 8, 4,800. Can I say this entire amount, whatever you saw over here, this is going to be considered as uncommuted pension for everyone. Uncommuted pension is taxable for non-government also, government employee also. So for government employee, only uncommuted pension comes into picture. What about the other pension? That is, what about the commuted pension? Will it be taxable for him? Will government employee be taxable with commuted pension? No. Everyone sure? So government employee will have the calculation of uncommuted pension only, that is total coming up to 16,800. Commuted pension is how much? How much has he received as commuted pension? 1,20,000. The entire 1,20,000 is available as exemption for this fellow. The tax which is payable is only for commuted pension. Clear? Everyone? The calculation would come for your other non-government employee. See. This fellow got 80% of his pension commuted. Now people, he has commuted 80% and received how much? 1,20,000. So can I say 80% of his pension is represented, is getting 1,20,000 representing 80% of his pension. So how much is his 100%? If we do the cross multiplication, we'll get the answer. 1,50,000. How did you get this 1,50,000? 1,20,000. If this is representing 80%, how much would you get as 100? If you just do 1,20,000 divided by 80%, you would get the answer. Otherwise, you can do 1,20,000 divided by 80 multiplied by 100. Both are same. How much should you get, people? 1,50,000. 1,50,000 would be considered as your 1,50,000 would be considered as your total pension. When you're doing the question, along with the process, you should know what you're doing. Without knowing what you're doing, it will be meaningless. So what is this amount, people? This amount is total pension. This total pension, whatever you are considering now, you will consider this for the purpose of calculation. What calculation will you do now? So for the commuted pension under 1010A, 1,50,000 rupees in case of this fellow, point B, not receiving gratuity. Everyone. So 1,50,000 multiplied by how much? 1 by, how to remember the logic? Not receiving gratuity means is not getting exemption over there. So higher exemption here, 1 by 2. Receiving gratuity means is getting exemption in 2 places. He should get less. So 1 by 3. You might say, ma'am, 3 is greater than 2, but 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3. Just don't go by the number, go by the process. 1 by 2 leads to 50% fraction. 1 by 3 leads to 33% fraction. Clear? Done. 1 by 2 into this one, how much is the exemption available? 75,000. Not receiving gratuity, 1.5 lakh multiplied by, sorry, receiving gratuity 1 by third. How much is it? 50,000. So how much is the gratuity? In this case, 1.2 lakh is the commuted pension minus 75,000. How much would you get? 45,000 would become taxable. This is uncommuted pension for him, and this is the uncommuted pension for him. Total of 16,800 plus 45,000 becomes taxable. Everyone, next, CA. This would remain same throughout. 75,000. How did you get? 1.5 lakh. Govinda. Multiplied by how much? 1 by 2 or 1 by 3? 1 by 2. Not receiving gratuity. Here 1.5 lakh multiplied by 1 by 3. Receiving the gratuity. So 1,20,000 minus 75,000, 45,000, 61,800, 1,20,000 minus 50,000, 70,000. Total combined to 86,800. Everyone, 86,800. Clear, everyone? Are you understood, people? Understood, everyone? Comfortable? So can you do the solution for this question very fast then? Please try it from your end. Do now only. 5 minutes being the time. Please do it. Mr. Sagar, this fellow retired on 1/10/2023. Is receiving how much as pension? 5,000 per month as pension. 1/10/2023, this fellow is getting retired. Please remember. On 1/2/2024, he commuted 60% of his pension and this 3,000 is commuted. The required to calculate is a government employee, private sector employee receiving gratuity, private sector employee not receiving gratuity. Very simple. 5,000 per month. So from 1/10/2023 to 31 Jan 2024 is receiving uncommuted pension of 5,000 per month. October, November, December, Jan, 4 months. How much is it? 5 4s are 20,000. Clear? Next, from 1 to 2024 to 31st March 2024. What is it going to be? 5,000. He has computed 60%. So uncommuted would be 40%. Very good. 5,000 into 40% multiplied by 2 months. How much is it? 8,000? 4,000? Everyone? Are you understood, people? 2,000 multiplied by 2, 4,000. So total uncommuted pension would be 24,000. This 24,000 is the same thing for government employee fully settled. This 3,000, 3 lakh rupees received, exemption under 1010 in 3 lakh close. That fellow is going to pay only for 24,000 uncommuted. In case of this, tell me, he received gratuity. How much? 5 lakh. That is irrelevant now. Tell me, uncommuted pension, how much you are going to make it as taxable? 3 lakh is representing what percent? How much is 100%? 5 lakh. So this fellow has received gratuity. So 5 lakh multiplied by 1 by 3. Not received gratuity, 5 lakh multiplied by 1 by 2. Exempted amount. Understanding, everyone? I hope it is clear. Everyone? So start doing the solution. If you are not understanding somewhere, please to let me know. I will show the provision. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. Copy paste the provision. So the provision has been copy pasted here, people. If you want the understanding of the provision, you can take it from here. People, it's my request. If you have not understood something, it's your responsibility to ask, please. Somewhere any confusion, somewhere any clarification, repetition required, please do ask. I'll give the format for one then. I'll give you the format for one. You can do it for KSA, QSP. First, uncomputed pension. Please do the calculation for this. Okay, calculations. Then, commuted pension minus exemption under section 1010A. Please do the calculation over here for 1010A. Then you would get the taxable pension. The format is simplest format. Nothing complications over here. I want everyone to try, even though if it is wrong also, it's totally fine. I'll not be coming and checking your classwork. You can cut and write also, plus, but please try. Done, people? Finished writing? Still writing? So you can check your answer, people. 24,000 being the first point, second point being 1,57,333, third point being 74,000. Got the same answer? Nothing is there in the pension question, people. We have full-fledged question that is more 10 times than whatever question you are solving. It's a very simplistic one. Nothing is there in this question. Done, people? Clear? Clear. We'll move forward to the next ones. Now, if you have received any pension in case of the person who has received some gallantry awards like Paramavira Chakra, Mahavira Chakra, Veera Chakra and other notified gallantry awards that person has received and he or his family is receiving any pension, then it is going to be what? Exempted. Totally exempted. Commuted, uncommuted, everything exempted. Done. So the next concept that comes over here is the gratuity. Okay. Now, gratuity is a voluntary payment which is made. Basically, gratuity is a retirement benefit, people. What is gratuity? Gratuity is basically a retirement benefit. Now, the gratuity you are receiving, you can receive in two times. One, during the service or after the service. Pension, though you can't receive it during the service. It's after services only. But gratuity you can receive during the service or after the service also. So, if you are receiving any gratuity which is during the services, it is fully taxable for both the government employee plus other employee. For both the government and other employee, it is going to be what? It is going to be fully taxable. So the gratuity received at the time of retirement or death. If that fellow is during the retirement or during the death of the person, gratuity is being received. Government employees, lucky people for life, it is fully exempt. If the gratuity is received during the services by government employee, is it going to be taxable or exempted? It is going to be fully taxable for any employees. What if it is government employees? It is going to be fully exempted. What if it is other employees? Papa, they have to get it under taxable. Now, 2 points. Whether those employees are covered under Payment of Gratuity Act 1972 or whether these employees are not covered under Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. Getting covered under this Gratuity Act is of the employer's responsibility. If he has taken initiative to get registered, it will be registered. If not, the employee should suffer by taking it as not covered under POGA. And the calculations which covered under POGA and non-POGA are different. It is not POGO, it is POGA. So please, some student was calling it as POGO. Ma'am, covered under POGO, what is the provision? What is the POGA? Yeah, first of all, please. So it is POGA, Payment of Gratuity Act. Okay, Payment of Gratuity Act 1972, this would be covered here. And payment of not covered under the Payment of Gratuity Act would be covered under here. Then, if you hear this laugh during the midnight, you'll get sick for 2 days. What we Indians will do, first we'll get out of the room. It's not like how we see in movies, no? In movies, if they hear some sound, they will go and open the door. And we will not be able to watch that movie only when they're opening the door. So much suspense. We will run first. So, or we'll remember Hanuman. Everything will be resolved. So, least of the following would be exempted covered under POGA 1972. So, least of the following, if it is covered means least of the following would be exempted. Exemption is covered under 1010. 10, 13A HRA, 1010A pension, 1010 gratuity. Okay. If they are giving you a question under gratuity, normally speaking, they will give you a different question or they can give it in a full-fledged question. Whatever calculations you are doing now, HRA calculation, pension, gratuity, they can either give it in full-fledged question or a separate question. Both possibilities are there. Separate question somewhere around 4 to 5 marks, full-fledged question somewhere around 8 to 12 marks or 15 marks also they can give. It is the question. Then clear. If it is covered under POGA or not covered under POGA, if it is covered under POGA, first of all, 20 lakh rupees, least of the following would be exempted.